It says it is show time. God, you are supposed to be live. Supposed to be going live. So we are here, tribe. Actually, apologies because I forgot to share the poster about today. I actually forgot to get the poster created because it's been a busy day. I was on set the whole day. Once again, Pella, whatever we can wear makeup and not show it off. We can like just do this face beat and do nothing about it. The plan was to hopefully get to Babunhlanzi, today to say, Stando Sami, you are cooking the pots. Let's go out. So I was like feeling all giddy and I was like, I wanna do them things. I wanna do for the lovers only. I wanna go out. I wanna do that. It now I realize that actually the lighting is not even that great. So it's not doing justice to this face beat and what's going on. Thank you so much, tribe. Thank you. Abo Odwa family, tribe who know how we roll. When we come in, we greet Dumelangi, Sanbonani, Togosani, Makosi, Kamakwini. We do them things, guys. We greet, and we also say where we are tuning from. Yes, beats on it. Yay, hi Kachiko, I'm cooking the pots, guys. This makeup. Like I'm not a makeup person. So hi Mara, today I was like feeling myself. I was like, you'll see I'll post pictures tomorrow. It is even with the dress that I'm wearing. Actually, let me show you. See? Stunning, right? It's a little bit dark. Oh, let me do this. Let me do this. Do this. Let's see. See what I'm talking about? Look at that. Like look at the makeup, guys. Yeah, no, the makeup artist on set today was just doing them things because I was in studio. So when you go in studio, they do all this flick makeup because the lights, like how the light comes in, can make you look shiny. So, and it's so great because I did a chemical peel and my skin was peeling off, but she did the parts, she did the amazing things. It looks great. It looks great. The hair looks great. The dress looks, I mean, it's like orange is my new color. As you know that I have actually fallen in love with pink, and one of my favorite colors long time ago was orange, but I'm falling in love with orange again. So yeah, we are here. Eish, yabona lento. I did say so manje I am congested, not because my flu thing has cleared up. Asikudala ngibhema isniff. Hayi guys, yabona ukuba gogo rough. I was like, I know I had to do this live. And I know I've got makeup on fleek, but y'all, I gotta do something. I need because I haven't hang up Emile the whole day because I couldn't afford both. Whoa, cut, because snake can show you things. Thank you, Trav, for coming. So we're gonna get into the topic. Remember the topics that I cover, you request them. Some of them have been long awaited for, like today's topic, where Gogo, please tell us why our prayers are not being answered. Why does it feel like it was linked flatele abangizwa ngiyakhuluma gogo ngishisa impepho ngenze konke, but it just doesn't seem like I'm being heard and things are really stuck. And even yesterday we were talking to someone, it's like, yeah, but I know I have to go. I know I have to give some service abantu abadala. But abantu abadala abakhulumi. They're not saying anything to me. They're not talking to me. So as kind of my basics. Let's start with prayer, right? Prayer, ukuphahla. Prayer as we know it to be, umkhuleko, umthandazo, esiwuletha, sumukisa to umdali, uNkulunkulu, Amatha, uRamasedi. So prayer is a communication and a connection with divine source energy. So this is we talking to the creator of the universe or the multiverse. We are talking to Father, Mother, Creator. We are talking to source energy itself. Then there's Ugupahla. Ugupahla, we are then asking those whom Ukamata has assigned as warriors, as soldiers, as guardians, as guides, as angels, right? As ancestors, well, actually not angels, as ancestors that are here to be our messengers, to be the ones that can actually, at the negotiation table of whom are we blessing today, whom are we blessing this afternoon, whom are we gifting, then you know that your people are in conversation that have to do with your gifting, your protecting, right? Your guarding, your guardian, your direction. So that is what ukuphatha is paving a way. So when you are actually saying uNkulunkulu somandla mdali wezulu nomhlaba, wena wokhokho nokhokho mkhulu bethu, wena nkanyezi yezulu, wena nyanga ezinye, because that's what God is, right? So when you are speaking and you are in communication and connection with God, kube ukuthi uyakuzwa ngoba ubiza wabakini ukuze imkhuleko yakho iyokhona ukusondela kumntana. Hope you guys are following me here. So those are the two different things. And then we do all of those things and we feel like, oh my God, I'm still not being heard. I still don't have a direction. So one, there's a lot of reasons why, right? And none of it are actually just one alone. You can find yourself with multiple of those reasons. One is that when we are pastoring and praying, when our intentions are not pure, because God, no, uNkulunkulu, and our ancestors are not looking at what you're saying, because I can be speaking and talking and speaking in tongues and praying in tongues and calling, God's the omnipresent, the omniscient. I can call Jehovah Jireh, Alpha and Omega, guys. I can look like I'm in the spirit of prayer. But they look at inhliziyo, the heart. So they look at what is not the obvious. Even as you speak things, they look at where are those things derived from. So intention is one. What is your intention as you get into this engagement? What is the intention of communicating? When you're sending a WhatsApp, you communicate because there's a particular purpose. There is something that you are hoping that you will get from sending somebody a message. When you send an email, it's either requesting, thanking, or laying a complaint, right? So you send things with being purposeful. And purpose that comes from intention, meaning that you are intentional in your prayer. You are intentional because we want to get the aesthetics right, but we don't want to get the intention right. Because purity of the heart is a prayer landing on God's ears. Purity of the heart is a prayer landing on God's ears. Partnering from a good place, it's a ancestral response waiting to happen. Because we are not separated from God. We are not separated from our ancestors. So that which we hold inside of us also determines how we articulate it and utter it. So when we are partnering and are praying and the intention is pure, what we are saying and asking, requesting, thanking will be received and heard. Because the heart is where our energy of truth, this is where our purity, this is where we are clear in the heart before we are even clear in the brain. So when you are talking and communicating, so one reason that your prayers are not heard is because the intention. Because when you are focusing on the aesthetics, you are focusing on calling God by all the names, calling Jehovah Jireh, calling Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Mercy, calling abokhokho nabomkhulu, ngibiza amathonga amhlophe, amathonga akhanyayo, aphilayo, aphilisayo. Nginibiza ey'ntabeni, nginibiza amagumbi amanomhlaba, nginibiza empumalanga, entshonalanga, eningizimu nasenyakatho, nginibiza emaweni, nginibiza ey'ntabeni, nginibiza konke. Hey, ngibiza nina abokhokho nabomkhulu, imina wakasibanibani, ngizalwa usibanibani. Fair and good. But before you even call them, be clear. in your heart, because a lot of us pray and pastor in contradiction. So I am pastoring and praying for a car. The work that I do requires me to be mobile. But your heart's like, yeah, whatever. I don't even deserve it. Your heart doesn't feel deserving. Your heart doesn't feel like you need to be getting those things. You are being too much. You're becoming too demanding. Do you see the contradiction there? There's no flow there. Because kuthiwa inhliziyo mayigayibuzima ubuthakathi lokho. So some of us, when we are praying, we are actually sending curses our way, because the energy in which you speak, it's derived from how you are feeling about what you're about to speak. We can tell when somebody is passionate about what they are saying. You could feel it. You know, when I could feel Gutu Koko was speaking from the heart. I could feel Gutu Lomuntu was telling from the heart. I'm not talking about aesthetics. Aesthetics can be even somebody who's putting up a show for us to see ukuthi bona they're good at prayer or baphahla kamnandi. So when your heart is weary, then your prayer can be about asking and manifesting. Your prayer should be about easing and comforting. Ukuthi bogogo nabomkhulu, hayi namhlanje angizizwa bogogo, angikho kahle emoyeni wami. Shwele abantu abadala, angikhona ukuguqa phansi ngishaya isandla phezu kwesinye. Ngibize nina. And the second thing is we pray and pasha like a recital, like it is a rustation. So using recitals and rustations, it's one of the things that get us feeling like our prayers are not being received or heard. Or Nandipa, thank you so much. Nandipa tribe always comes in and just gives. Sandla phezu kwesinye. Siyabonga. Siyabonga gogo, siyabonga. Kwande sibayeni sangini, kwande sibayeni sakho gogo. Kwande la uthathe khona, kube kuhle kube mhlophe, kuthethe ubumnyama kuvele ukukhanya. Thank you so much. So you see, intention is very important, because intention drives our articulation. How we speak and what we speak is informed about what we are intending from that prayer. Because then from that, because when we are clear, you know what I'm praying about. I'm just giving thanks today. Like today is just a thanksgiving. It's not to say, oh, thank you, God. Yo, Mara, God, why? Yo, Mara, why did this work not happen? Yabona ke mina uNkulunkulu sengikhathele. Hebana. Make sure, Uguti, when you are praying, you are very clear. You don't have contradictions and are not contradicting yourself. 1 minute you're not thankful and the next minute you're upset at God and the ancestors. Because you are going to be gifted what matches your energy. You are going to be gifted what is at the level of your vibration, guys. So you gotta elevate. You gotta elevate your vibration to be able to get answers to your prayers. And probably you are getting answer to your prayers. It's not just what you are actually desiring, because your desires are even unclear to you, or your desires are not coming from a pure heart. Hope you are following me here. The other thing that is getting out, guys, one distortion and myth is that our ancestors turn their backs on us. We turn our backs on our ancestors. They are part of us. They are one with us. They are continuously in connection and communication. So when somebody, you are trying to reach out and they ghost you, or they actually disengage and they pretend and they blue tick you. So when you're needing them, they're gonna just be like, thina sichelile kuwe. Liyachela idlozi kuwe ngoba nawe ulichelisile. Liyahlala nje lukubuke mongalizwe. So some of us find ourselves in misfortunes or unfortunate circumstances, and we're like, but bebakuphi abantu abadala, belikuphi idlozi? Lihlezi likhona, but the messages that they are giving you are not palatable. They don't land well. They're telling you, dude, this woman is not the one. Uzohamba, uzohlutwa juba. Yegela, shia pants, uthi no, why? kanjani phela ngisikhokho ngithola umntwana onjenge mina ngiphophile la I can't bathi hey wena uyijuba uzohlutha bese bathi hamba juba uzobona phambili. So sometimes it's because we do not listen when we are getting the answers before we even actually ask ukuthi is this the one. Uyazi umuntu mosuqala uthandana naye first imhlophlop session uvuka ngesibonakaliso. You wake up and you get a message and you get a dream that this ain't it. You start seeing things about this person, but because the flesh desires what the flesh desires, then it becomes a missed call when God is calling on you, when God is warning you, when Amapansi are cautioning you. It's a missed call, guys. So that's also one of the things we feel siflaterwe, because we are not in the honor of their guidance. Iti GPS 10 right, utena left. Iti 10 right again, utena left. Then eventually it will be on rerouting. Have you seen maps? It will say I'm rerouting because you are being guided, but you want rather go with what you think you know because you know best. Remember, ancestors have the spiritual intelligence. They don't have the body though, but they've got the spiritual intelligence because they don't have the physical body to be attached to ego. Right? I'm talking about ancestors of light. I'm not talking about ancestors in general. Right? Not all of our ancestors are there. The other thing, then, now that we've spoken about quite a few things, makeup, it's a little bit ishy. So the other thing is that when you start a relationship with your ancestors, let's speak about that. Because most of us grew up in a praying home and we know prayer very well. It's a relationship with your ancestors. So if you are starting a relationship with your ancestors, let's use this metaphor. If you are meeting somebody for the very first time, you can't come and make demands. You can't come as if this person knows everything. You have not communicated, you have not engaged, you've walked away from the relationship, and you are meeting it's from that base, it's from the rebuilding, the reconnection of this relationship. And you come with an open heart, you come with honesty, not excuses. You don't say, yeah, Tina Mokoko man, you understand, because you don't know as much as we know. And this is why I say don't be fearful of abatagati or utagati, because as much as they can know your name and your surname and they can know utandana nobani, they don't know. Let's just tune. They don't know lelodlozi. They don't know leongelosi that has been assigned to you by uNkulunkulu. They don't know. So we know what we know from what we learn, from what we see, what we hear. But in the spirit world, how things operate and work, and who's assigned who, we can have an idea. But we don't know with for sure. We don't know with surety that this is what it is. Bomgas, thank you so much, Koko Nyabonga Kakulu. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you for super stickers are what you can buy if you're on YouTube, just as a donation to the podcast, donation to the teachings. So we just continue doing this work. So let's continue with what I was saying. You don't know. So when you can come in utanyazi ugogo bese ngibuza abogogo vele abogogo nishiye nazi ukuthi nina nisifundisa ngamasiko with arrogance. Kanti the one who's assigned to your blessings, the one who's assigned to your relationship, the one who's assigned to your health is not hearing you, because you're not saying, instead of saying, hey, nishiye kanjani uthi hayi bogogo nabomkhulu. Gogo Palisa, njengoba uwazi salukazi sidala ngenhlonipho nokusithoba, lishiye thina singabazukulwana benu. Wena ozala ugogo, uPinki ozala umama, uLerato, mina nguye uDinewo bantu abadala. Lishiye singazi lutho, lishiye sisebaleni bantu abadala. Namhlanje siyasithoba kuba wonke sihamba nabo, sithi isandla phezu kwesinye. Listen, sithi isandla phezu kwesinye abantu abadala ayidlishiyeni izandla emanzini. We plead. We plead with humility, with humility we come. Monica, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tribe. Really appreciate these donations. They go a long way. So this is what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about people where when we get into a relationship that we've never had, you don't come with arrogance. If you go on a first date and this guy makes it all about themselves, like, or this woman's like, yeah, you see, I want this and I'm this and I'm that, and they're not even interested in engaging you. It's all about them and what they've done and how everybody has done X to them. How are you going to really get to know this person? So more parts like it's not just about that you, it's about them. It's about, I know, Bokoko, we have not done anything that has to do with you. You know, a Gogo's man. So you would call the Gogo that is closest to you. Like if you are a, you know, you are a child of that Gogo, you'll call the Gogo who has said they don't know is it does a sea. You will call all those Gogos. Okay. I'm saying I don't have sound. I'm saying check if it's not your audio. Tribe, if it's me, can you hear me? Before I continue, what I'm saying has got a point here. Fanele ngise-Cosmos City ngokusebenza ila ngikhona. Okay, okay, they can hear me. So I'm saying maybe it's your sound, beloved. It's not me. So everybody says they can hear me. So you understand, Guti, when you get into that relationship where there has not been a relationship. And I say for some people, not everything that isn't do it yourself is going to work for everyone because everyone's ancestral world, it's made up of multiple spiritual beings and entities that have been assigned not only to you but to the family that you're born into. So there are things that could have also been done, which leads me to another point of why your ancestors feels like bakuflathele or they've turned their backs and your things are not being heard, is because kungabe kuthi kuphehlwe amanzi amnyama. Meaning there is things that have been done to actually create a barrier for you and the ones who are on the other side. Because people do create barriers. They create a barrier where when you are trying to call and knock, they build a solid wall. So what am I talking about? These are family members who are playing in the dark world. So people who are practicing darkness do sometimes do that. They do not steal ancestors or spirit. They build a wall between the physical because remember, umthakathi is for this body. Because without this body, umoya kaNkulunkulu cannot be housed. Without this body, God's force energy does not have a home. So they work with the body because that's what they have access to. Do not be fooled thinking people and forces of the dark have access to your spirit. They have access to your body and they can work with things to disturb your soul, meaning it's your emotional and mental state, because that's what soul is. But your spirit remains the spirit of God. But it's connected. Remember, the spirit is housed in this body. So if this body is tampered with, so the spirit is not housed in an intact home. Because if people of the dark world had access to God, we would be reigning a lot of hell. We are somewhat in our country, there's a lot of chaoticness and things that are happening, right? But they don't have access to that. That's why they want to access you, right? That's why they want to access you because they know if they're tampering with you, then where's God's spirit going to be at? You know, when God says that it's not a battle of flesh and blood, it's not about your body. It's because they know without this temple, God's existence ceased to exist. So without this temple, God's existence ceased to exist in us because we are the house that houses the Spirit of God. Hence, it's called the temple of God and says, guard this temple, purify it, keep it clean. That's what it is. Because without this body, spirit does not have a home. So umthakati and dark forces will want to temper and destroy the body. And that's why when there's been an attack, your body feels it. You wake up very tired. You wake up feeling like your body is somewhat. You wake up, Mati, I was running a marathon. You wake up like as if I've slept with somebody else or something else. Something did happen. The body feels it. You feel it physically. Then it starts to manifest in other things as well. So the Spirit of God remains the Spirit of God. That's the image and likeness we've been created in. And that spirit remains pure. The soul can be dark, the body can be all sorts of things, but the spirit remains pure. Right? So they know that when ukhathazekile, when you are down and your emotions are down and you are troubled and you are in pain and you are in tragedy and you are like, oh my God, that way God's energy force can vibrate higher. Because remember, the soul is an intermediary between the body and the spirit. That's what the soul is. The spirit is there to guide the soul, to guide us. This is where, when our soul is cleared of what we call miasmas, meaning ancient, frozen, unhealed traumas, we can then be guided by the Holy Spirit. We let the Holy Spirit guide me. But how are you going to hear the Holy Spirit in misery? How? And some people hear it because they become something. There's a moment in one, if you listen to your Eckhart Tolle's, your Deepak Chopra's, the late Wayne Dyer, the great spiritual teachers, they'll tell you like they transcended when they were in deep pain, but they stopped feeling their bodies. They moved and detached from the body pain. Then they started to see themselves outside that, and they understood that they were more than just the physical body. People who've had near-death experiences will tell you that I was watching my body. Then I knew that I am more than the flesh. Then that's how people will transcend and understand that they are bigger and much more huger than just the physical body. So that's the other thing. And because I've spoken about the body and the purity of the body, the food we consume, because the food we consume can either be medicine or poison. So when we are consuming foods that are full of no nutrition, overly processed foods, foods that are not whole, and all we Monday to Friday, wena is I sidla kamnandi, siyenza lezi sheshayo, in and out takeaway every time. Your body is not given fuel, your body is not given medicine. So when you are meant to pray, you feel tired, you feel bored, you feel overwhelmed. When you are even meant to hear, because our prayers are not answered in the way in which we expect them to be answered. Sometimes we are being answered, but we are not at the physical wellness to be absorbing the information. We are not present within this body because you are asking for a particular car, and then you are shown another car. But are we born? Because you are just not present. When you are not even present. Guti, actually, this is not the one. I'll give you an example. When I went to go get, this was I think it was my third car, right? I was caught up between a 4x4 and a Mac, because I love Mac. So, and I remember that when I was like, oh my God. And the day I decided what between those two cars, I was on my way to the Eastern Cape for Ingoduso of one of the graduates. You guys know her, Umkulu James. And there were the mountains there, they were hectic. And we went into the village and we had to drive on a dead mountainous road. And I knew, and we were in a Mac, right? And I knew, Uguti, a Mac is not it, because as much as I needed a beautiful car, I needed it to be practical as well. I needed it to work, right? I needed it to be a car that is going to be able to allow me to do the work that I do as Ugogo, as Ugomen. Then you see, so if I wasn't present because I'm waiting for God to appear like how God appeared to Moses and say, Dinewo, you shall go with the 4x4. And guess what, right? 2 years later, I had to go and go initiate in rural Mozambique. That's how I was like, thank you. I'm glad I have a 4x4 because I could have not driven that Mac Lapaya because it was before I'm not good with cars. I don't know what's this big Mac thing. And anyway, it's not something at this moment I want. I don't want to say I can't afford, but it's not what I want for myself. I've got another dream car that I want, and I know I'm not ready for it because that's why I have not manifested it. So I'm saying God speaks to us because there will be signs and signals and omens when we are being answered. But are we listening? Are we listening? Because we are thinking, Guti, our answered prayer will be in this way. I have also started to learn, tribe, which when I do work, because I do a whole lot of other work besides Dumba work, right? Other Coco work. One is that I have learned to when you are asking me for too many documentation, to me bio, rate cards, and we are going to and from, I know that's not my work. I know that work is not going to work for me. I know, right? The other thing I've also learned before I engage in anything else, now you offer so sometimes the prayer is the no, but you're waiting for a yes. So the prayer answered might not be what you are actually expecting and hoping because you are actually in dire desperation. But what you are wanting, God and your ancestors see it as poison that will actually be the end of you than a gift that will be giving you life. As much as even including a job, like I want a job, they know you're financially irresponsible. The next thing within 2 months when I so blacklisted. So as unfortunate as it seems, Spirit always sees things for our highest good. That which doesn't serve you will not come to you. And what is yours, you don't have to fight for it. I don't do prayers of fighting. I do prayers of allowing. So sometimes we are so much in fighting than in allowing. Then in the fighting, we are in the resistance of flow. In an allowing, we are being present to receiving what is going to be for our highest good. Tribe, I hope you got that. In the fighting, we are in resistance of the flow, but in allowing, we are being present to what is going to serve us for our highest good. Aralina, thank you so much for the contribution, tribe members. Really appreciate this. So that's that. The other thing that why we are not getting our prayers answered, guys, we are not ready. We are not ready. We are not ready for it. I just said it, but I want to expand on this a little bit. I want to do a demonstration. Please give me a minute. So let's say this is us, right? So you see, right? This is the tree. We've got all of this. And then on the tree, there's this. And there's that. Right? Maybe there's another thing. So let's say this is you. This is your childhood traumas. This is your Joluyanyisa relationship, and you are asking God for something, and this is probably your abandonment, something, something that happened. So when there's already, if you look at this, when there's already so much on our plate, when our hands are full of things like this, but we are asking for God and our ancestors to add, where is the room for it? If your cup is already full of things, what is going to be poured onto you will spill over. And when something is spilled, it's spoiled. When something is spilled over, if you are pouring a liquid, if you are pouring tea and it spills over, It's spoiled. You can't butale tea and put it back. So some of us, we are praying, but we are not willing to release and free ourselves of things that no longer serve us. So we have enough room for the blessings that God is wanting to bless us with. We are not ready yet to receive the blessings because we are not willing to let go of that which no longer serve us. Sitanda ma back up. We think with certain things are back up because we're experiencing load shedding. We think Gucci because it's not like that. Because if your hands are full, you've got no room for anything new. We're not willing to let go of things. We are not letting go because we're excusing what has happened or we are diminishing. So what I'm saying is that in the state of being a victim, you can't vibrate higher. In the state of Mina, because your prayers are about pity party. So you are throwing a pity party because God gives you what's there, what you can handle. So God's like, yo, pity party, no? We are going to give her a 6-figure job, and that job is going to actually ask her to work extra on weekends. Or we are going to give law, that means that she has very little sleep. It means Guti, she will have to miss certain events and birthday parties and weddings. That's my life, guys. Certain funerals because but then God gives you that, and you're like, oh my God, I don't have a life. I don't have a life. I don't have a life. Then you become resentful. Because the very same thing that you think it's a blessing might be a curse. Are you ready to receive the blessing? Do we have enough room for it? Are you ready for what it comes with? Because gifts that we are gifted and blessings that we're gifted, there is responsibility and accountability attached to it. You are not just given a fast car. If they know you are a speedster and you've crashed 4 cars already, why should they give you a 4-pipe? You are going to kill people, and God can see to an 4-pipe. You are actually going to end up go in jail for reckless driving. So sometimes our answers are not what we want, but they are what we need. Did you get that? They're not what we want, but they're what we need. It's been over 37 minutes, tribe. There's a lot I can go on, but when we get to this time, we then stop and open up for questions and comments. Let's get to some so true. God can never do a prayer of fighting. Imbi, are you? I see on it. No, I mean, I was like, God, right? I mean, there are other things while we're waiting for questions. Even the time of prayers are very important. There's certain times where we know that the umoya, especially umoya ungcwele, so meaning the spirit is very much present at that time. About 12 a.m., about 3 a.m., about 6 a.m. 3 is a very powerful number because 3 is the number of Trinity, and it says God. Some people say God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit. That's Ankh, right? God the Son, God the Father, God the Mother, Ramasedi, because this is where the triad comes together, where there is unionship of the divine powers, energy forces, the masculine and the feminine energy forces are in unionship at those hours. So at those hours, life force called spirit impilo. Spirit is life. So when you just a body that has no spirit, you are a walking. Have you seen umuntu bathi uphelelwe emoya lo akana nix? Uyabona ukuthi nje ufila hamba because their spirit is dead. So that time is the time where those times that I mentioned, the 3 a.m., it's a triad. It's a coming together. And in the unionship of that, then manifestation happens. But you see, I've left all of those details at the bottom of what I said, because the first thing people want to know is like 3 o'clock. What must I pray with? Candles of manifestation. All of it. Guys, we can give you all the nice tools, and I can tell you blue is about the heavens, red is a color of protection, green is about a manifestation. Orange is a color of creativity. So if you are in a space where you are either writing a proposal, or you're getting into a strategic meeting and you are looking for creative stimulation, if you're a writer, you're an artist and you have a writer's blog, use the color. Yeah, I can talk about orange colors and yellow colors, but siqala kuphi? Because the foundation, before we build a mansion, we need to know which the foundation is solid. Serasa Mutukipinu, let go. So much, Coco. Make space for the new Coco. For a long time, I struggled at work, scared to leave because I didn't have backup plan. I finally left, and 2 days later, I got a call from the biggest bank to start work. Amen. What a testimony. That's what I've been saying all along. You can't receive from an if your cup is too full, your room, guys, if your house is full, where are you gonna put the new furniture? If you come out to link toilet, you're gonna buy your Carol Boys marks, but there's this offer because there's too much. It's clutter. We won't even see the beauty of the things that you are accumulating. Awesome. Thank you so much for testifying, Gogo. It's amazing. Mercedes, you've been amazing, Gogo. Informative as always. I love you with all my heart. I receive the love with all my heart. The love you tribe show me, it's amazing. I love how you love me. I love how you love me. Thank you so much. And it's been consistent, and it's not a changed. It doesn't change because today I don't do a stream. It's always been there. Thank you so much for truly loving me. I receive it. And it means a lot. It really means a lot to me. Jackie is saying, what are some of the things we can do to bring down the wall built to us and our ancestors? Togoza Koko. Well, you see, it depends on what the type of wall that has been built, beloved, because there's different types of walls, right? So there's people who actually literally baganging umsamo wasekhaya, meaning the place where we go pasha, they can also do certain things. But let me tell you this, right? This is me. Koko Jinawo. It's not a universal thing because we all have different views on this. I believe that even if somebody can ganga emsamo and ganga gupi and do what, when you in your intentions, when you in your temple housing the spirit of God are intact, no one in what they do, because you will see before you even go your pathim. You will see before you even go there, which I can't go there because they said I shouldn't go. Right? That's why I'm saying aesthetics, structures, and all of that. The house can look beautiful, but how is the inside? Is it a home? Because we're building houses to make homes. But some of us put so much on the house, not on the home aspect. The atmosphere, that's what home is. The atmosphere. You can go into somebody's room, man, and feel like this is a home. And you can go into a big mansion and you can be like, it feels empty. That's what I'm talking about. So it depends, beloved, on the wall. If you suspect it's a wall, the best thing, guys, is to go and check what's going on. Because if there's a suspicion, because these things, Jackie, it's not DIY. I can't say do this and do this and do this because I don't know what kind of wall is built, who built it, and why. Because sometimes they build it not with the intention of creating a disconnection, but because a lot of the people who were crossing over were not actually then crossing over to the spirit world. They were becoming trapped spirits between the dead and the living. They were becoming ghosts that were haunting the family. And then they decided to bakidonga ukuthi hayi phela le ayisebenzeli because thina phela abethu nje baza ngemilingo nemimoya emibi. So we just gonna build this. So that's why I'm saying it depends on the type of wall that has been built. I hope Jackie, you got it right. Let me know if what I just said to you it's landing. Okay, what happened every time you pray, you end up crying? Well, crying, it's a healthy emotion, try remember, because sometimes we would want to dismiss, don't cry. But if you are there and pouring your heart, because there's different things we pray for. You can just go pray and have God listen to stuff. "Nkulunkulu angazi, ngihlulekile." I've had prayers like that where I just cry and it's well, not to God, but I have said, "Bokhokho nabomkhulu, mina ngimi anginawo amandla ngoba inyama iyazwela. Inhlambe ngithela ngazo. Kodwa mathanga and mina I would say that kodwa ke bogogo lokho eningibizele khona ngizoqhubha. Kodwa bengisengifika ke bantu abadala ngithi sengizwile ngoba inyama iyazwela. Ngiyathuka ngenza inhlekisa abantu abadala. Mokuba ukuthi kuyisifundiso kimi ngicela ukuthi ningikhanyisele thonga lami. Mokuba ukuthi izitha ezihlangane nami obahlangane ngami ibani impendulo yami. Hawu uzobona ke kuba nezinto ezenzakalayo. We have to have that kind of relationship with our ancestors. I trust them so much, even when it hurts so much. I trust them so much, even when it hurts so much, because they've always showed up. It's just that they've not showed up with what I wanted at the time that I wanted. A want is something you can live without. A need is an incremental part of it's a need it's an essential that you cannot be in existence without. So let's also check, am I asking for wants or needs? Enomusa siyabonga gogo. Enomsa akwande gogo. My late aunt's name uNomsa. Thank you so much. Siyabonga kakhulu. Siyabonga kakhulu. Okay, today's topic seems very interesting. I think I can see a lot of engagement from the tribe. There's so much. Greetings, Coco. Can you do a discussion regarding Jesus one day, or point me to a video if it has already been done, or if you have interested in speaking about it? I hear conflicting stories. Well, I have not done about Jesus the man, but I have done one about the consciousness of Christ and in African spirituality. It's probably about a month ago. So if you go on my channel and you look at Christ consciousness in African spirituality, you'll find it. And yeah, and let's see if you can find some useful insights there. Lungile saying, true Coco, because I'm struggling to go to my father's house since both parents passed away. I always dream of troubled spirits every time I want to go there and I don't go. See? Hey, I look absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, tribe. Thank you. I was on set the whole day. Oh, guys, makeup looks so good on me. Oh, Noms, I've already said thank you. Sorry so much. Okay, there's a lot of comments to go through. Tepiso is saying, may the good Lord protect and bless you, Coco. I appreciate. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, I used to wear glasses, I used to wear glasses in my 20s for the whole of my 20s. They disappeared when I was initiating and I started to see, but I could see that the screen has strained my eyes. So I need to go get myself glasses. So the next time you see me, I'll be wearing glasses. And remember, we used to get teased as well, I was born in 81, guys. So when young people would wear glasses, they would call us nerds. I mean, I was a nerd. I was a bookworm and I was like that. But it as much as it sounds like a compliment now, but it was a bit of bullying. So they would call me all sorts of things. So when they got lost and I could see a person, because I couldn't literally see without them. But now I can see, but could see that 42, guys. 42 is Kokotaring next door. In June I'll be 42. My eyes have been working with the screen for long, so I do need some aid. Jowoza Gogo, your teachings has taught me so much. When I listen to you, I heal. I'm finally understanding how the spirit world is operating in us. And I have a lot of testimony since I have followed your live streams. Thank you. I really appreciate, for me, this means a lot because I am also a healer that does not give out DIYs and things. But I just, knowing that the teachings do land, because we teach to inspire, we teach to create enlightenment. We teach to actually help you return to your spirit, because inspiration, Wayne Dyer says, is in spirit, because it's in the spirit of God where our power lies. It's in the spirit of God where we can create a reality which we are desiring. It's in the spirit of God where we can be discerning about the things that we need to do. It's in the spirit of God that when we are speaking, because prayer is a speaking engagement, when I am uttering things with my mouth, there's a scripture in Proverbs that says that with the tongue, we actually opened it last week at church. We said in the tongue we hold life and death. In our tongue lies the fruits that need to be born. So the fruits we are bearing are based on the things that we are saying. The things that we are saying are the things we are harboring. So when we are praying, we are not just praying tongues. The truth shall be spoken because the truth has been here. So if you are speaking your truth, you are not shaken. Even when somebody says, and it's not being ignorant, people, and I was actually saying in church that when you speak, speak with conviction. Conviction is like you have no doubt. You know, when somebody's being convicted, they'll say, beyond reasonable doubt, we find you innocent or guilty. So speaking with conviction is speaking with beyond reasonable doubt. In your prayer, be in conviction. You can't be in conviction when you are still looking back. You can't be in conviction if you are still in conflicted. You are being conflicted. You can't be in conviction if you are still looking at who's doing what. You can't be in conviction if you are in competition. You can't be in conviction. You are going to be in contradiction. And what you are saying as a prayer lands as I'm confused. Then God say, okay, you confused? Let's confuse. Or you want confusion? We're going to give you confusion because it seems like that's what you like. That's what you want to do to experience in life. Let's just create more confusion. I will read more about African spirituality. You have personally empowered me with the knowledge in some of the platforms you have featured. You are our African spiritual guide. Hey. I remember one time, thank you. Bayavu Makok. Even my ancestors are saying thank you. So I remember I was on a show on TV, and I remember this guy says, Gogo, you're trending. I'm like, yeah, I saw the show. I mean, I didn't know that actually on Twitter people were talking about me. But what was really I appreciated on Twitter, people kept on speaking this exactly, that Coco is such an encyclopedia of African spirituality. You know, I'm just a vessel. I'm a vessel. I'm not, the vessel. It means that I download this intel. I download, but this intel, I have to do so much work on myself, guys. So the downloads are not, we're not creating download error. It's not jamming somewhere. It's a gift, but that gift requires a lot of inner work, so that when I'm getting and receiving messages from the spirit, I can be able to speak it as it's landing, not at my own stuff and spice and juice, on it. Thokoza Koko, can a person you are married to hinder you if you are gifted? And can abantu abadala shift them from you, but again, approve him in your life? How does it work? Okay, Zaza, today we're focusing on prayer, beloved. We'll look at that topic. If you go on to the topics about dating a spiritually gifted person, being in a relationship, we cover some of those aspects, okay? I know it's an important question to you, but today, can we be focused on prayer and Toza Koko, thank you for constantly imparting your knowledge with us. You know what I'm learning, guys? Because I feel like when I'm channeling spirit, like Lomuntu has so much information for me to channel. And if you notice how I sometimes speak very, very fast, and I'm learning being on TV how to actually slow down my words. It's so difficult because I am not talking, it's not my words, it's somebody, and some people are talking through me, and it gives into eziningi ngesikhathi esisodwa. So I want to get so much within a short space of time, but I'm learning to and speak slow, but not lose the passion, because I speak passionately and I don't want to lose that, but I want to speak more pace and poise. If you watch my TED talk, you'll see how slow, because eloquence and articulation is very important when you do a TED talk. Because even with Tozani, I said it like that, but at TED, I needed to say Togozani. My name is Gogo Dinewo Nzanzi, an African spiritual teacher, healer, and trainer. I am trained in the healing arts of Ubungoma. Ubungoma is, you see, yeah. So I had a coach that, like, when I was like, slow down, slow down, girl. I'm like, Amy, my people are wanting to say so much. Thank you so much, guys. Coco, you speak to us. It's ringing volumes. Appreciate it, tribe members. I do take this feedback. It helps me come back every week to do this. And we know we've been very consistent, tribe, especially with the YouTube, because this is something that even when you're feeling some type of way, or somebody's conflicted in some way, somebody's in search of something, you can replay all the time and you can share it. And please don't skip the ads. Don't, they, because we're still working at something, so don't skip the ads. You can just play it and let the ads run. I've been through a lot since 2021. I'm slowly healing and starting to understand and appreciate the journey. I would like to strengthen my relationship with the ancestors as I had forgotten about them. They also understand. Remember, ancestors had a physical experience. They were once human. So we're not talking about impossible beings with a list of demands who have no idea what life is on earth. They have lived life on earth. So even when we are engaging with them, we're like, well, impilo semhlabeni inzima elikhulu kwamanje. So the important thing with ancestors is communication and frank communication. And bayazwela. Okay, Tibato says this is your calling, Gogo. I don't even try hard. I've had so many dreams of you teaching. That's how I started following you. They knew I'd be enlightened from watching you. Umsebenzi wakho muhle, Mudimu awukeletsa love and light. Love and light to your ancestors. Wow, how incredible is to be dreamt as a teacher and then you find me. That is magic. The spirit world is just incredible, hey? It's just incredible. Thank you so much. Okay, Lungi is saying I literally rewatch the videos and let the ads play on, especially over Wi-Fi. Yes, and you can also download the videos. So, okay. What type of coach do you have? Voice training or content or presentation? No, Tabang, I had a coach, a speaker coach when I did TED in 2019. But I don't have a speaker coach. I don't have a voice training coach. I mean, I guess the blessing is I've been gifted with a voice that sounds like this. The nice thing about my voice is that even when people don't recognize me, because then next thing this hair is not there, the makeup is not there, but my voice is so unique and my voice is none like the other. So people can recognize me by my voice. Some they recognize me by this tattoo, some by this. There's different things people recognize me. So I've never had voice training or anything like that. I meant when I did the talk, but I have lots of coaches for my inner work. I've inner child stuff I'm going through, just working on myself because my work requires me to heal so I can inspire others to heal. That's what truly being a healer is you doing the work so others can be inspired to do the work too. My mother is here. I'm gonna put her here. Oh, wow, my beautiful baby girl. You look amazing, baby girl. I love you so much, Nana. Thank you, Ma. She's always here. Mommy is always here. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support and your love. Okay, guys, there's been lots of compliments. No questions. We don't have questions. Are we full? Sesuti, I dished up starters, uh, main course, dessert. Maybe it was even a 5-course meal. There were palate cleansers in between. Ne? Why does things get tougher with people with a gift? Never look at my stream of why things fall apart when you are gifted. I think that is about a month ago as well. So I have covered that topic. Oh, thank you, Makumalo Mtunga. Oti Tribe Man, because we please like Gogo's videos. Each time we watch, oh, no, 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 no. I need to go back to Makumalo. She's asking something that I forgot to ask. Videos each time to watch, YouTube algorithm starts to recommend them more. I've noticed that I don't always see some of the pre-recorded videos as usual unless I go looking. That's true. That's how algorithms work, right? So, um, when you like the videos, then other people who are looking for similar content the videos will be recommended. So that's just the way algorithms work. And it's to like them also to get people who might not even, because the beauty about YouTube is that people who never even knew me found me somehow when they were looking for something on YouTube. And then I was a poo and I popped, and share the videos with your loved ones and your family members as well. When most of this content that we share is family friendly, you'll hear if the language is for adults. The YouTube videos are marked as not made for kids because it's not made for kids, but some of the topics people watch with their family. Okay, Busisiwe, please ask your question, Michelle. Toza Koko, you exude so much wisdom and light. I love you so much. If you have a calling that you have been made aware of, can it hinder prayers or cause your prayers to be unanswered? Okay, that's a good question. So the calling doesn't hinder anything. We get hindered by our inability to respond to the call. You are called because there is a need for you and your gift. So if you don't answer the calling, then you are hindering yourself, not the calling hindering your prayers. Hope D, that's making sense. The calling, there is a call because there's a need of your gift. So if you are not responding to the call, then what you are asking for and what you are wanting and what you are trying to then go back to, because remember, communication between us and God is we pray as a message request, and then we sit in meditative state or in stillness so we could hear the response from God. So if we are being called but we don't want to respond to the calls, how are we going to go? I mean, it's like I'm trying to call this number and it's not answering. So then what do? You delete that number, right? Because it doesn't look like it's existing. The next time the person calls, he's like, what number is this? I don't know this. I'm not going to answer. So you are hindering. It's not the calling. Hope I answered your question. Okay, Lerato is asking, how do you forgive to make space? I struggle so much with forgiveness. How do you do it? How does it feel? The issue happened, but you can't stop thinking about it. I can't just make myself forgive. Of course, beloved, I don't know what happened, but we can't just be dishing forgiveness like it's a loaf of bread, because forgiveness must really come from the heart and you must be ready to forgive. Because things that have happened to us and things that others have done to us are not easily for you to just get over. When we're saying let go, we're not saying just forget about it and it's done. But when we are saying you need to forgive, it's because it's starting to consume you and you are being consumed by the poisonous acts of somebody else. So it's kind of like hoping somebody drinks it, but you're drinking it yourself. So when you are unable to, then that's when you seek someone who works with the issue that you are going through, and you could find that sometimes forgiveness is very hard for us as adults because that issue or that person has actually triggered a buried wound that we are not even aware that what has come to the surface is things that are beneath the iceberg. It's all the things we've went through, but we thought we have buried. So what they come through with, it's so much in our face and we think it's all about what they've done, but we don't actually understand it's actually what is also this person has done. This is what my dad did. This is who else has done. So they've actually opened up a can of worms. So there is so much for you to deal with. So you don't know how to forgive because it's a lot currently coming out. So that's why it'd be great to find somebody to hold space for you and help you go through that process. I can never ever stop talking about doing inner child healing. I mean, if you see my glow to when it was about 3 years ago, yes, even 4 years ago, right? Even 5 years ago, it's not the same, because healing my inner child has been the most incredible gift I could ever gift myself, as you know, because I stopped things that I was afraid other people were doing, but I didn't see how I was actually allowing them for myself. One of the things that I had the biggest persecution wound because in my past I was persecuted for my gifts, and therefore in this lifetime I have coming to clear that karmic debt. So it means that I've attracted persecutors, people who persecuted me. The students I trained were my persecutors. My family that I loved were my persecutors. People I was in relationship with were the biggest and greatest punishers. So I thought it was probably about just that, but when I went deeper, I then retraced and traveled back in time to retrieve memories in my Akashic records, right? So this is like my soul's library of experiences I've encountered over lifetimes, because I'm an old soul. So over lifetimes. And when I started to go there, I have developed immunity towards persecution. So I can get, and somebody can say, I'm like, yeah, right. Okay, great. Let them believe what you want to believe, because I know how to. So I'm in my conviction. That's why I'm saying sometimes our prayers that we are praying, God is answering us. So God might be answering you with something you don't want, but it's something you need, because that's where the healing is. That's where the transformation is. That's where your moment of alchemy exists. So that's my story. And that's what I'm saying to you, Lerato Wuti. try and figure it out, but get somebody to help you go through those things. When people come see me at the institute for their one-on-one consultation, and they'll tell you, those who've come to see me, mina angiqali ngithi yabona idlozi lakho gogo, yabona abakini bafuna wenzeni, ngiqala by reading into you. And by reading into you, I will also be able to pick up. And this is what doing the inner child work has helped me. It's not only to help hold other people who are going through inner child healing, but to also place their responses to life as adults to the things that happened to them as children. And people who, if I've got any people who've come to me for consultation, of course, those who want to share, they will tell you, because so it's not only focusing on the ancestors and what the ancestors want, but we also need to know that there are things that are important and that matter to you. And those things, even if the ancestors are asking, the asking of the ancestors, because when allow. So there's a lot of people who tell you, how many of people, but you've been cleansed for istricho, but it really occurs because it's not just in your physical body, it's in your etheric body. It's there. It's in your etheric body, it's in your astral body, which is the soul. So it's there as well. So we need cleansing there. And that's what doing the inner child, because the inner child holds the key to your soul memories, can open the door for you to access your Akashic records. Okay, we're getting some deep, guys. We're getting deep. We're talking about other things, Akashic records and all of that. We'll do a teaching one day, but not now, because I'm still also in the process of trying to learn it. So you remember, I'm a teacher that simplifies. So until I can simplify it for you, I know it in the context of me and my life, but until I can simplify it, then I can bring it as a teaching offering. Gogo, if I'm being told every time I'm consulting I have a calling and I don't know what it is, the next step, can it also punish me, even though they haven't told me in my dreams of what to do? Caroline, you are new here, ne? Welcome, tribe member. Welcome to the Kokotino Atlantis tribe. In this tribe, we do not believe that our ancestors are punishers, because we do not have our loved ones who are out there to punish us. They are there to guide us and show us the way. We are being punished when we are not following the way. And there are things that are happening to us that are not are hindering us seeing the way. If you want to know how to find the way, there is 4 beautiful teachings I have on YouTube. One is how to find your Kobela. 2 is the things you need to do so you can find your Kobela. I think it's there. I don't know the headings, but binge watch my recent YouTube from this year. And you can actually start from last week and go all the way up, and you will come across some very interesting information that can give you a new directive in terms of you finding your way and finding where to go. Okay, tribe. Lefty says, true, you do that, Gogo. Consultations are the best. They've assisted my hubby and daughter. I can't wait for my turn. Oh, we'll see you when I get back from leave. Guys, I'm going on leave. I haven't said. I'll still be on the socials, but I don't know, guys. I'm going on 2 weeks leave. I think I need to do it 2 weeks leave, right? And no YouTube. I know I'm getting palpitations already that I'm not going to be on YouTube and I'm not going to do streams, but it's just 2 weeks, right? I'm just going to go on leave for 2 weeks. I'll still post, but I might be very slow on socials just to rejuvenate and recharge. Okay, so 2 weeks, we are looking at when is 2 weeks? I'm looking at my calendar. Yeah, today we were long with the stream. Okay, 1, 2. So I'm not coming next week. I'm not coming. So we'll be back on the 4th of April, tribe. I think that's not too much to ask, right? We're going to be back on the 4th of April. Tuesdays is live. Tuesdays or Wednesday, because sometimes I get caught up. Tuesday or Wednesday, we do the open line on Instagram where you bring your dreams and general questions. But here we are topic focused. So thank you so much. Togoza Koko, first time being here, and I am grateful. I just need to know, I live abroad and I would like to pass any advice on how and where. Dimakato, beloved, please go and look at my Pasha 101. That was a a teaching dedicated to people in the diaspora. So that teaching is for you guys. So please, it's called Patha 101. Go on to my all my videos and search Patha 101, and then you will get information there. Tells Koko Ujulile, healing the inner child is the first step to healing. Yes, I think I was bringing Reverend Coco Dineo, right? Because I'm also a reverend. So all my guides were here and present. And thank you so much. I mean, we still have a lot of people, even though we went over time, sitting here taking in input. I really appreciate your love and appreciate your support. Love you guys so much. And may we grow from strength to strength as a tribe. Where may we continue shining this light brightly, guys. And may we celebrate ourselves, because sometimes we are waiting for others to celebrate us, but we take what we do for granted. So today it's a night where we say we are doing amazing. As a tribe, we are doing amazing in this field, because we know that we are one tribe that is a tribe of light, because we do not tolerate anything outside the light. Appreciate it. Lots of love. Hey, good night.